Good day all. How's everybody doing today? This is Vicki and this is Cooking Vegan with Vicki. Welcome back. Today we're just going to do a really quick recipe. Going to do some falafels. So in my food processor, I actually, technical difficulties, had processed all this and realized I wasn't videotaping. So I'm just going to walk you through it and then we'll move on to the next step. So in the food processor, you're going to take a 1 can of chickpeas. Now when you drain the chickpeas, that liquid that's in there, that's called aquafaba, and it has a lot of uses. So you can save that. It's good for breading stuff. I like using it for breading tofu when I want to put a nice crunchy crust on it. You can whip it up a little bit. You can even make like meringue out of it. So if you don't have a use for it right now, don't throw it out. You can throw it in ice cube trays and then just put it in the freezer. And then when you do need it, just pop out a cube or two and you'll have something to use. So what I put in here is two cloves of garlic, 1 can of chickpeas. And then when I start it, I actually took a dry frying pan or saute pan, and I did cumin, coriander, and cardamom, and I actually just roasted that like dry heat on the stove, medium heat, for a minute or so until you smell the fragrance, and then you know it's really good. Don't skip that step. This is very important. It actually kind of cooks the spices so that you're not getting a big punch in your process when you're doing it. So then I've also put in half of chopped onion, 1 cup of, I did use flat leaf parsley. I normally do half and half, like a half a cup of cilantro and a half a cup of parsley. Unfortunately, I forgot to grab cilantro today, so we're just doing all parsley today, and that's okay. Half a teaspoon of salt, the juice of 1/2 lemon, about 2 teaspoons. Make sure I don't forget anything. A quarter of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and then we're just going to process this. So I was processing it, and then I just scraped down the bowl. That is very loud, is it not? Okay. Just gonna process it a little bit more. And we want to know if it's gonna stick together pretty well. All right, I'm gonna give it one more process. Sure it gets blended well enough. That looks about right. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put this in a bowl. There we go. This smells so good. I love fresh parsley. Just adds such great flavor. Okay. All right, and now to this. Move this out of the way, bring our bowl forward, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add 1/2 cup of chickpea flour. You could use any other chickpea flour. Because we're using the chickpeas, chickpea flour would be best. So we're going to do 1/2 cup. Doesn't want to come out. 1/2 cup of flour, and the most important ingredient is actually 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder. This is what's going to make them light and fluffy. Okay. 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder. Yes, baking powder. Sorry. So now we're just going to blend that all together. Okay, And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this sit for an hour in the fridge. Okay, and then we'll be back and we'll make our falafel balls. And then we'll find out which is better, the oven or the air fryer. Hi, so now we're back with our falafel mix. So it's sat in the fridge. We let it sit in the fridge for about an hour. We wanted to chill it and to let all the flavors kind of mingle together. And then all we're gonna do is we're gonna roll them, squeeze them into nice little, now you can do 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. I'm just gonna do like about 1 tablespoon ball, okay? And the only thing that differs, sometimes I make them smaller, sometimes I make them bigger. The only thing that'll differ is how long you actually cook them for, okay? Then we're gonna get these all rolled up. They smell delicious. So I usually like this on naan bread or a pita, hummus, or a vegan tzatziki sauce. But these are great. I take them for lunch. Sometimes I just have these with actually hummus and snack on them. So we're gonna try some in the oven and we're gonna try some in the air fryer. I already know which one is better, but we're gonna do them anyway. So actually they do much better in the air fryer than they do in the oven. They crisp up really nice. So they have that crunchy exterior, which is the bomb. There we go. We're almost done. Okay. Yeah, I wish you could smell them. They smell delicious. And these are like so high in protein. There's chickpeas, even more when you add it with hummus, which is what I like to do. I know it's kind of like double chickpea, but 2 different flavors, 2 different textures. So that's the easy way of just, you know, putting them together. You can have them on top of salad, which is really good. Even in just a sandwich, if you don't want to do like a pita roll or a pita bread, or I like all my breads. They're all good. Okay. So now we're going to put some in our air fryer, and then we're going to put some in the oven, and then we're going to see which ones are the best. Okay, so we're back. We have our falafels all cooked. So the falafels from the air fryer are very brown all the way around, very crunchy. And the ones from the oven are a little softer in the middle, so it just depends on what you like, not as crunchy on the outside. But again, they turned out wonderful. So what I would normally do is use a piece of naan or a pita bread. I just happen to have whole wheat pitas here, and I would put that in. I would probably put some lettuce inside, maybe some onions, tomato, whatever you like. Even slices of cucumber would be great. And so I usually just do hummus. It's much easier. And if you want, you can find a good tzatziki, vegan tzatziki recipe on YouTube. There's lots of recipes going around. They all look delicious. And then you're just going to add your balls and you're all set to go. Easy lunch to bring to work. You can have it hot or cold, or even room temperature, and you don't have to worry about it, you know, not being refrigerated for a couple of hours. That's it for this time. If you're enjoying my recipes, please subscribe below, hit the bell icon so that you're notified every time I upload a new recipe. We are going to be doing some meal preps coming up. And if you have any requests for a recipe you'd like me to veganize, please put that also down in the comments, and like this recipe if you're liking my videos. Thanks.